Yes, good evening, everyone. So today's topic of discussion would be organizational change and effectiveness. Okay, sorry, and we need to discuss about resistance. Okay, so change and the resistance, the two topics which we'll cover up in the last topic of this particular week as well. And tomorrow we have a doubt clearing sessions. Okay, so I think we'll start the class within few minutes of time. Let's everyone join in first. So let me share my screen. And in yesterday's class, I think if you remember, we have discussed about the effectiveness and design and efficiency of an organization. Okay. This is the last topic which comes under organizational development, which is called organizational change. So let me share my screen with you. Yes, and please kindly confirm, is my screen visible? The next topic, organizational change.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. So like when we discuss about this basic concept, what do you mean by change, first of all, in an organization, or what factors which will be considered when we talk about the organizational change? Or what is change, first of all, please? Anyone? What is change, please? Like for a basic example, the way the education system has changed from offline to online drastically throughout the world is basically an alteration in the existing condition of an education system. That is called a change. Change means something, you could say, which is being altered, which is being changed, which is being, you could say, processed from the previous stage to the next stage, or from, you could say, from existing condition to the new condition. Okay, that is called the change is all about. Okay, so in a very simple language, when you talk about what is change, it is alteration in the existing conditions of an organization. Okay, now when we talk about the organizational change or change in the organization, what type of change we are talking right now, first of all? Or is it change, you could say, positive or negative for the company?
Positive.
Is it positive? Okay, any example you can quote, please? What an example from the organization perspective? What type of change we are talking about? Yeah, please.
Sir, in the last 10 years or 20 years, there is a automation is everywhere. So the working conditions of the organizations are very fast, and due to internet and all this
Yes,
IT
yes,
industry.
definitely. Yeah, definitely. So like in a simple context, if we can say that even we talk about even most stable organization, each and every organization has to face certain changes in the society or in the environment. Okay, these environment would be, you could say, any economic changes, any social changes, any political changes, change in the taste and preference of the customer, change in the demand of the customer. Okay, so when we talk about the change is basically, you could say, inevitable. First of all, it is inevitable situation in any organization, inevitable situation in any organization. And when we talk about the types of changes, okay, so changes may be in the form of, what form of changes we are talking right now? In the form of social,
Economical, political,
yes, political,
consumer demand,
yes, demands and supply,
demand and supply of consumer. So automation, we can say technological demand.
technology, yes, demand and supply composition.
Yes, sir.
We talk about technological, legal changes. Maybe it could be a part of that as well.
Yes, legal also.
Okay, like recently we talk about the implementation of GST. Is you could say one of the major
Yes.
transformation when it comes to taxation system in India. Okay, what else? When talk about changes, so like in a nutshell, if we talk about the changes, may be internal or maybe external, because maybe changes maybe in the, you could say, in the macro level or at the micro level as well. Yes, students.
Yes.
Yes. So now we will discuss about the what are the major external changes of this particular organizational change. Okay, and then we'll move to the internal changes of the organization. Is it clear, everyone? What do you mean by change, first of all, in organization, and what form of change, what type of change we are talking right now? Hanji. Yes, students. Is this clear, everyone?
Second point, sir, the what's the meaning of inevitable, sir?
Inevitable means unavoidable.
Okay.
Unavoidable, yes, yes, yes. So the first changes we are talking right now, that is because of external forces. The major forces we are talking right now when it's come to changes in the organization, which is outside the organization control, or we can say these are the uncontrollable factors. Because of that, changes are inevitable. Okay. So the first one, it is called demographic, technological, then we have
Socioeconomic. Socioeconomic.
yes, market changes, social changes, and political changes, which we discussed actually already. Political changes. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the demographic changes, means what? Which factor we're talking right now?
So age.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Age.
Age, education, sex. So
Yes.
what is the
Or better write down gender. I think.
gender? Yes, the gender is well correct word.
Okay.
So work profile, so working
Mm-hmm.
status of the person.
Yes, yes, yes. It is, we can say, occupation level, I think.
Yes, sir. Occupational.
So occupation, maybe business, maybe job. Okay. It may cover everything. What else? Okay. So I think expert, because organization talk about expert, I got skill labor, you could say skill set as well, because whether the labor available in the locality is basically skilled, semi-skilled, or unskilled. Okay, so that may be again one of the important criteria when we come to demographic factor. So always remember the age, education, gender, occupation level, or skill set of the employee always play a very, very crucial role when we talk about the external factor which may affect organizational change. Fine. Next, we talk about technological. Technological is all about technological change is very simple basically, because when we talk about any manufacturing concern, the important thing is that how upgraded technology we are using so that we can improve the productivity and market competitiveness. Okay, in simple language we can see that to improve productivity and market competitiveness. Okay, we talk about market changes now. What market changes are we talking right now? Market changes means
So competitive edge, sir, change.
change in demand and supply, first thing, because from customer and supplier side as well. Change in demand and supply. Competition level. Type of competition, we can say that as well. Monopoly, oligopoly. Okay. So type of competition. What else? because competition cover everything when it comes to price, when it comes to product offerings.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Change in demand and supply, which we have discussed. What else which come under market changes? Hanji. Anyone? What else we can cover up under market changes? Purchasing power. Okay, etc. Clear? Social में क्या आएगा? Social. What about social factors?
So economic status of the
Yes. Yes.
economic status, like below poverty line or all these categories. So,
Mm,
so all the categories of living, sir. All,
yeah, but basically, like we are talking about organization perspective. Society is basically is all about, when we talk about, you could say, needs, their priorities, their motivation, their ethics, because these are the society values we can talk about. Okay, morale of society, or you could say norms of society. According to that, things may change from the perspective of the company as well. Okay, because these are a major factor when you talk about any organization. The social values or social norms are always, you could say, play a very crucial part when we come to the organization. Okay. Next one, we have political pressure or political changes. What about the political factors? Yes, students. Political factors. Lobbying, I think you have heard the lobbying. What is lobbying?
yes, sir. Money laundering, sir.
No. Lobbying is basically groupism.
So no idea, sir.
Yeah, lobbying is basically groupism. Okay. Lobbying in the organization. Lobbying is basically nothing but like when you talk about any organization, a particular group of person is showing dominance over others, and they are basically influencing in a wrong sense to the people. That is called lobbying. Okay, so this is again the one of the major forces that may affect the culture of the organization as well. Okay. Okay, informal group. Informal group with major influence on culture, or culture of an organization, or major influence on culture of a company. Okay, so these are the basic 5 factors which comes under external changes. Any doubt to anyone, please? And make sure these factors are uncontrollable as well. Am I clear with this, please? Because it's very common phenomena, like when we talk about any organization, this politics, social factors, market changes, even technology, even talk about demographic factor, each and every factor always play very crucial role when we come to change in the culture of a company, change in the how the company is basically operating or managing in the organization. Clear? Yes, Ms. Poonam, Anuj, Jagriti, I hope so. This part is clear.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. Next one, we have internal factors. Okay, that is controllable factor, or you could say micro factors, or internal forces. Now, when we discuss about the internal forces, the first and foremost thing is very, if we just actually bifurcate it into 2 parts, that maybe you could say human resource, I mean the workers in the company, and second one is the management behavior, or support of management when it comes to the organization. So like when we talk about the human resource, okay, what type of humans we're talking right now? Definitely each and every individual employee those who are working in the company may have certain influence in the organization. Now, these influence may be in the part of, you could say, conflict, maybe in the form of, you could say, any sort of mismatch when it's come to the consent regarding the management decisions. When we talk about a particular person, you could say facing the problem of, you could say, job review, job conflict, job stress, work overload, ambiguity. These are the major factor which may affect the organization change. Okay, so like if we talk about a very simple in language, that is about role conflict. Role conflict means the conflict because of the position one is holding or one is holding right now in the company, and because of that, the clashes or the you could say the consent is not there when it's come to the orders given by an individual. When you talk about stress, again, one of the important factor. We talk about work overload. We talk about ambiguity. We discussed in the last class as well, etc. There's a major factor when we talk about any organization, which may lead to the changes in the organization. Okay. Now, second point we are discussing right now, that is called the management behavior. Okay. Now, the management behavior is nothing but the response of top management, or you could say active response of top management towards active response of top management towards any conflict. Okay. Now, make sure always when you talk about management approach or management behavior, these approach should be, you could say, immediate in nature, first of all, and the action must be taken immediately for the problem which the company is facing right now. So that is basically internal forces which will come to the management behavior, and the human resource, how they are actually behaving in certain sense, and accordingly the changes may occur in the organization. Is this point clear? Please kindly confirm.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, the next part we have the nature of change. Okay, now when I think we discussed sufficiently about what this change is all about. What basic nature or characteristics which we can keep in mind when we talk about change?
The nature should be effective. Change should be effective. So,
like example, like if you can talk about,
like in toward productivity of organization in positive terms,
like if we can,
or in the change of behavior of.
If we can write on the formal language, the change should be willingful or willingly or by the individual. It's not willingful. Change should be, you could say, willing to what we can write down, or we can write down, I think, people must willing to accept. I think this is your point. I think so, Ms. Poonam. Willing to accept change. Okay, so that is a major point basically, because if there is a change in the company, for example, when it's come to role responsibility, when it's come to job targets, when it comes to salary structure, when we come to, you could say, any changes in the policy of the company, these changes must be acceptable by each and everyone. If not, definitely these changes may affect in a wrong sense to the organization. Okay. Second point, when we talk about change, the nature of change, it may be in the form of, when we talk about the people must learn, to adapt their attitude and behavioral pattern to change. Okay, means for example, like when we talk about an organization, and there are certain changes in which how you need to greet a customer. Okay, when we talk about the service sector, when we talk about, you could say, any manufacturing company, when we talk about any fashion industry, each and every sector, when we talk about the changes must be adaptable, means the person must have to understand and then learn what are the behavioral change which we need to incorporate in order to attract more and more customer in the organization. Customer must be satisfied once they are visiting in there to the particular shop or to the particular organization. Okay, so that is basically the second point, that the person or the people in the organization must need to learn how to adapt the change, and they need to change the attitude and the behavioral norms accordingly. Clear? Okay, second one, the change may be at the level of individual and organizational. Okay, now when we discuss about individual change is all about what character we can include. When we come to individual change we talk about. Yes, anyone? What type of individual
He
change?
become a self. So
Pardon?
the person become a self-actualized person. He or she may be able to understand his responsibility or understand the problem of situation.
So we talk about, this is related to behavioral change, or you could say behavioral aspect of that. Behavioral change like attitude, knowledge, beliefs, needs, expectations, and skills. At the individual level, what changes which we always expect from our worker in the organization. So that may be the part of your nature of change. Clear, I think?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Second point which come under it is organizational change. What type of change we're talking about right now from the perspective of organization? Yes, students. What type of organizational change we're talking right now?
So working efficiency and effectiveness.
Yes, we can include. That is, yeah. Or working efficiency. Okay. We talk about productivity as well, because productivity and efficiency is a related part. Okay. Productivity. When we talk about structure of the company, policies and procedure, or you could say blueprint, rules and regulation, policies and procedures. What else? Hanji. SOP we talk about, standard operating procedure of the company, how to operate a company on the ground level, at the management level, at different, you could say, categories of the, you could say, the operations of the company. Accordingly, SOP are defined. So at the organization level, there may be having certain changes. Like recently, we talk about how the, you could say, working in an organization has drastically changed because of the COVID. Okay, you can see that how the people are behaving, how the people are actually attending the meeting, how the people are actually accepting the norms of the organization and the government as well. So that is basically organizational change, which you must have to adapt. And that is, you could say, inherent in nature. And if it is not being adopted, it is not being, you could say, inculcated, definitely you won't be able to survive in the company for the longer period of time. Clear? Anji, is this point clear, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Now we'll discuss the next topic and the important topic, basically the comprehensive model of change. Okay. Model of change. I'm just copying that figure right now. Just a minute, please. So when we discuss about the model of change, we have basically 7-step model, which is associated with the change methodology or the changing procedure in the organization. Okay. So let me copy this diagram first of all on my screen. Okay, so this is model for change. 1 minute. So as you can see that this particular 7-step model, we need to discuss all these steps one by one. The first step when it's come to change or organizational change we talk about, that is recognize the need. Yes. Hanji. First one is recognize the need of change. Okay, we'll discuss all these points one by one. The point number 1 we have recognize need for change. Okay. Now, when we discuss about this particular recognition of need of change, what we are discussing right now, can anyone tell me?
So we want to improve the efficiency and effectiveness of the organization.
Sir, it's basically why we need change in our organization.
Okay, fine. So like, can you please quote an example over here? Anji, can you please send an example? Like for example, let me give you an example from my side first. Like when we discuss about the marketing manager in the company, what they actually expect when it's come to change, which maybe you could say market forecasting, for about like for example, when we discuss about any changes in the taste and preferences, when we talk about changes in the, you could say customer demand, any new product potential if it is there, they always need to understand the social economic aspect of the change, and according to that need they have to understand, they need to keep in mind what type of, you could say, change is about to happen, and accordingly they need to take certain actions in the organization. I hope it is clear. The recognition of the change. First of all, you need to understand is what exactly the change which we need to incorporate. Okay. And according to that change, definitely company has to decide that, or the manager has to decide that because of this change, the certain policy which we need to, you could say, incorporate or implement in the organization. So that is the first part, recognizing need of change. Any other example, please, from your side? Yes, students, any other example? Like it's a very basic example on marketing. Okay. Let's suppose, for example, if we are talking about any accounting firm, and as you know that each and every year there are certain changes in the taxation rebates or in the accounting procedures in the company. Okay, maybe taxation norms, maybe you could say filing of you could say any GST or whatsoever. The change is basically you always need to incorporate accordingly. You always have to be ready with the changes in the organization. Like when we talk about, you could say, the Parle-G, how the Parle-G has basically drastically changed their product offering in the market. Because as you know that Parle-G was a very traditional brand. That simple, that chai wala biscuit is very simple, common phenomena. But because of the intense competition from the other brands, okay, the Parle-G has to drastically transform the company into various product offering in the market. Are you getting my point? What I'm talking right now? The first topic, recognize need for change. Yes, students? Recognize need
Yes.
for change. I think examples are also clear.
So Parle-G case is maybe of diversification.
Yeah, diversification, but that change you need to understand first. If the change is not being understood, or if the forecasting is not being analyzed, definitely company would be under severe losses. Okay, like same example of Nokia. What Nokia did, Nokia actually could not be able to compete with Apple and Samsung, and that's the reason you can know the condition of the market right now about Nokia.
Yes, the same is the case of Maggie also. Maggie is also entered different segments like Maggie ketchup and all that. So
Yes, 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 definitely.
because this EFP came all that nor noodles market after Maggie.
Yes, yes, yes. There are a lot of brands came after that. If we, when we talk about this,
After Maggie, because the once a time the Maggie came in scam cases also, that there is a glass or anything there. So that's why Maggie also diversified in different fields.
Okay, okay, yes, yes, yes. So I think so. First point is very simple, clear as well. The example of Nokia we talked about, the Parle-G we discussed, the marketing strategies we discussed. Yes, students, I think clear this first point.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, establish goal for change. Like for the above example which we discussed, if the Parle-G or any company has to change their marketing strategy, or the case of Nokia, like case of Maggie, if we talk about from the Poonam side, establish the goal for change. Now, what about the goal we are talking? Which type of goal we are talking right now? Hanji, which type of goals we are talking right now? Because, for example, when we discuss about Parle-G, okay, like what the Poonam suggests that it is a case of diversification. Okay, so if we can say that, like definitely the company either need to diversify, or they have to actually, you could say, go through with the increase of market share, like what the Parle-G did basically after that, because they have come up with the huge range of product. Or you could say, like same with the example of, you could say, Parle-G only, that they increase their market share and product offering as well. You could say wider product line. Okay, are you getting my point? What study we're talking right now? New market entry. Again, you could say one of the strategy when you talk about establishing goal for change. Investments opportunities. Investments again is a part of that. Yes, student, are you getting my point? What exactly I'm discussing right now? Where whenever we have certain problem, whenever we have certain change, and if this change are basically need to be managed by the company, these changes must have to be incorporated or understood by the company in order to, you could say, have a better clarity how a particular company can actually form a strategy, form a policy in order to achieve that goal to achieve that particular target in real life. Clear? Everyone, please. Establishing the goal for change. Is it point clear? Example is also clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes. Now, when we discuss about the next part, diagnose relevant variables. What does it mean? Diagnose relevant variables. Diagnose means to assess, to analyze the major factor which are actually affecting or which are enforcing the company towards change. What are these factors are? Like for example, if I'm taking a very basic example right now, in case of turnover, okay, for example, is the turnover of the company. Turnover means which turnover talking right now? Employee turnover, okay. So in case of employee turnover, the factor which we need to analyze, okay, in case of employee turnover, the major factors are, when we come to employee turnover, like low pay, what else? Poor working conditions, I think. That's the reason the employees are going for strikes and other parts. Poor supervision. What else? Better alternative means you have better job opportunity in the market that you can definitely go for. What else? Job dissatisfaction. Because what I'm talking right now over here, for any issue which the company is facing, the company always must have a particular criteria. Company always must have the, you could say, variables. Because of that, that change is basically occurring in the company, or the change is basically incorporating in the organization. And according to that, you must need to find out the major reasons behind that. Example is clear, please, everyone? हाँ जी.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Now, the next part we have select change intervention. What about this? Select change intervention means, first of all, we need to find out the reason of turnover, employee turnover. Let us suppose, for example, if the major reason of employee turnover is lower pay, so what the company will do? Company will increase salary. Company will provide them bonus. Company can provide them, you could say, good, good, we could say, benefit when it comes to monetary aspect. Okay, like for example, if the reason of employee turnover is poor supervision, in such a cases, company has to focus on the training and development of the managers. So whatever reasons we have when it's come to employee turnover, the reason behind that, or the reason which may be selected, it must be justified, it must be resolved the concerned issue. Okay, so if you can write down, the selected reason must be diagnosed. Okay, clear, everyone? Haji, is it clear? What do you mean by select change intervention?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, fine. Now the next part we have, that is about the plan implementation for change. What does it mean? Haji, what do you mean by planned implementation of change? Like for again example that, let us suppose if we discuss about the employee turnover, it is because of the low pay. the company has selected a reason that how actually we can resolve this issue of low pay. Okay, they might actually provide some bonus, they might provide some increment to the employees. But when we discuss about the plan implementation of change, like for example, if the company has actually selected that, you could say, the increment in the salary may be the reason of you could say lower pay, but it was not only about salary, actually it was about the various perks as well. Okay, so always remember, when you talk about plan implementation for change, if a reason has been identified that the employee turnover is because of the low pay and the company has selected that, after that the low pay reason, what are the basic expectation of the employee in the company, that they must need to understand as well. Okay, like select reason must be diagnosed as it is low pay. So what the company can do, company may offer, you could say, increment, reward, bonus, etc. Up you have multiple options first of all in order to actually resolve this issue, but which particular option to choose, that is about the plan implementation for change. It means that a company must have to select the option as per need of employee. Clear? Hanji. Understood, I think so. With the example, help of example, what does it mean? Yes, students, please kindly confirm.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Next one is implementation of change. What about this implementation of change? That it is basically the practical execution, practical applicability of that particular option. For example, let me type this, or you could say ground execution. Better write down the word is ground execution of the option of option being selected. Okay, for example, the issue was low pay. The company has decided to give increment, but increment was not the basically the main option for, you could say, employee turnover. Okay, so what we have to do, we need to find out if the company has selected the increment as a major reason behind employee turnover. Is it true? Is it verify or not? If it is okay, definitely we can proceed further. If not, we need to change the ground reality of this particular option, that is called the ground execution of the options. Clear everyone, please? Implementation. And last one is evaluate the implementation. Evaluate means verification. Okay, whatever you could say changes which we have incorporated, these changes must be, you could say, appropriate and maybe accurate. Okay, so changes must be verifiable, appropriate, and accurate. I hope so the example is clear, because this method or this process is a bit tricky, but with the help of example, you can understand how the things are basically going step by step whenever we talk about any organizational change. If you want to copy it down, you can copy it, please. Else we'll move to the next model, that is called Lewin's change model. हाँ जी. Any query, any doubt to anyone? हाँ जी students, is this clear everyone? This particular model in the stages?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. So next we have, that is the Lewin's change model now. We have Lewin's change model, expanded process model. Yes. Okay. So these two topics we still it is covered. So we'll actually take a break of 10 minutes now and we'll get back to you with discussion with these two basic models of change as well. Okay. And then we are done with this topic as well. Okay. Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sure. So let's go for a short break of 10 minutes. We'll get back to you at 5:55 sharp. Okay. Yes, students, shall we start now? Okay. So the next model which we have, which is under change, that is called the Lewin's change model. Okay, the next model of change, and there is an important model as well for our discussion as a syllabus as well. Lewin's model of change. Okay. Now, when we discuss about the Lewin's model of change, this particular change model is basically, you could say, based on the psychological approach. Okay, and this model is given by Kurt Lewin. Lewin has actually developed a 3-stage change model. Okay, let me type this. I think so. This model is developed by Kurt Lewin. Okay, Kurt Lewin. Okay, it is a 3-stage model. Okay, which is based on, you could say, 3 major activities. 3-stage model based on 3 activities. Okay, number 1, the first that they are discussing right now about how to initiate. The second one, it is all about how to manage, and third one is all about how to stabilize. Okay, now when we discuss about how to initiate, how to manage, and how to stabilize, these basically stages are termed as, how to initiate means this stage is called unfreezing stage. How to manage, that stage is called changing stage. And how to stabilize, that is called refreezing stage. Okay, so the major 3 stages which we have, which comes under how to initiate, that is unfreezing, how to manage, that is how to manage means changing, and how to stabilize, that is called rephrasing. Okay, now that these 3 phases, basically how we can term is, how we can call it, we'll discuss this one by one. Now when we discuss about the first stage, that is called the unfreezing stage. Okay, in this stage are basically individuals are basically encouraged or motivated to actually adapt the new changes. They have you could say, companies basically providing them training, they're providing them counseling session, some, you could say, sessions associated on the job trainings. So unfreezing is basically the very first stage that related to encourage to replace old behavior. Okay, that's the very first point about the 3-stage model of Lewin's, that is encourage to replace old behavior. How to manage, that is called changing behavior. Okay, now changing behavior is basically is all about once a particular person has thought that they need to change the new behavior, the new model, the new information. Okay, the particular person must have to keep in mind that new concept implementation. Okay, so it is related to, you could say, new information, new model, or new new model, we can say, or new model. Okay, we talk about, you could say, new way to look, sorry, new way of looking at things or changes if we talk about. So how to manage is all about basically whenever we are talking about any change behavior, these behaviors are basically associated on the basis of new information, new model, and new way of looking at something. And these changing is called basically a transition phase, how a particular person is basically learning the new changes. Okay, so if we can write down, that is called transition phase. This is called ice breaking phase. This is called ice breaking phase. Okay, the last, when we talk about Please, Miss, I think Galaxy, please mute yourself. The last phase which comes, that is called the refreezing phase. Now, when we discuss about the rephrasing phase, the rephrasing is all about basically the practical execution and use of new behavior in routine life. Okay, so when we discuss about the how to stabilize, it is basically associated with how the behavior can be practically implemented, executed, and whether this behavior is basically, you could say, normalized in a normalized fashion. If we talk about whether the particular employees are using those behavior in routine life or not, that is called the rephrasing. Whether the things are stabilized, you could say streamlined in the company or not. That is called the rephrasing stage. How to stabilize. Clear, everyone? Haji, is it clear, please, everyone? The Lewin's model of change.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So that is, I think, all about change, because resistance in your not in your syllabus. So I'm not discussing that topic right now. Yeah. So that is, I think, done with this particular topic, like organizational development, organizational change, design, attitude. I think we're discussing this particular topic since last 2 classes. Okay. So that's all about this particular topic now. I think I have given you one case study in the last class. Okay. Have you solved that case study? Yes, students. Have you solved that case study or not? Yes, Miss Poonam, Anuj, Jagriti.
Sir, is still remaining.
Okay, still remaining. Fine. Because no topic which are left, because next week I might plan some activities of the class. Okay, because we are hardly left with few topics, and I have to plan few activities of class. Okay, these activities maybe in the group or individual as well. We'll decide upon the number of candidates we have in the class on the particular day. So right now, like, we are going to discuss with the one case study which is based on organizational change now. Okay, 1 minute, please. I think last class we were discussing about this case study, a bankrupt culture. We are done with that. Okay, that the case of the Michael regarding that sexual assaultment and sexual harassment. Okay, that we have discussed. Okay, after that we need to discuss one case study on organizational change now. Okay, wait a minute, please. So the next case study, which is based on this particular topic, change and stress management. How many case study we are done? I think Lewin's model we have discussed now. Yes, Lewin's model we are done. Because see, there are so many things to be teach in this particular topic, but we are just restricting the time and the content of the syllabus. That's why I'm just discussing only few important topics of this particular syllabus and subject as well. Okay. Stress management we have discussed as well already in the class. Okay, so let's discuss one case study. We are done with this. Changes at WPAC, a television station in the Yuma. No, I think. We are done with the Starbucks wala case. I think that we have completed. Rise of extreme job we have completed. I think yes. We have done with this case study or not? The change at WPAC. No, I think so.
No, sir. No,
No.
sir.
So this is the last case I think which is left for this particular topic, and we'll discuss this now. Okay. Because like as I'm checking the syllabus as well right now, we have almost completed I think all the topics. Hardly 4 or 5 topics are left. So I think next week we will plan to cover up that in 2 or 3 classes, and remaining one definitely will go for some class activities. Okay. So let's start this question now. I think this case of change at WPAC, a television station based in Yuma, Arizona. Okay. So let's discuss what I'll get back to it 6:15 sharp, and we'll cover up this case and the last topic of this particular organizational development now. Clear? Yeah, please do it. Yes, Ms. Poonam, done? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, students. So shall we start? I think Ms. Poonam is done. Yes, students. So shall we start, please? Ms. Poonam, can you please summarize this case?
The case was related to the WAC television station, which was going in a stagnation position. So the new one was adopted. The new one was hired for the chief meteorological. And she was told that the 5 p.m. was the 5 and 10 p.m. was for local news like traditional top stories, sports, and weather. But she carried out, though she was Christian, so although she doesn't bother for her religion, but for the showing that time for the local news, she doesn't adopted that. So for that the rating was the television was to go high, but because not showing that local news, or what was that word called, sweep week, sir.
Hmm.
So the company got in losses and she was fired from the company because
Yes.
the television network was rated according to that culture. For
Hmm.
that, the news timing was 5 and 10 p.m. for local news, but she like to broadcast that what is this week. So that's all, sir.
Yes, absolutely correct. See, basically, like when we discuss about this particular cultural transformation or the viewpoint of particular person, like what the Devarex actually was talking about, because he has handled that particular situation according to his own view. Okay, but like the question, you can see that on the ground. That do you think that either party behaved unethically in this case? Which party is unethical, if as per your consideration?
So this one, medicine there, the chief meteorological of WAC since
Yes,
2010.
yes.
Yes, yes, she was unethical towards
Hmm.
the cultural change.
Definitely. Yes, Ms. Poonam. Absolutely correct. Okay. So it's a very, very simple case study when it's come to organizational development and the change we are talking right now, the viewpoint of a particular person, what change you want to incorporate. So these things may be the part of this particular case study. The changes at this particular WPAC, which is a television station, and what to broadcast. Basically, this is the case study is all about. Very simple one. Uh, Depends on, you could say, the storyline, depends on the broadcasting timing, depends on the broadcasting content. These case studies basically is totally based on. I hope so. This is very simple case study, everyone. Anuj, Jagriti, Shabana, Soni, Mohammed, Hamad.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
I understood.
Yes,
Understood,
yes.
sir.
So
Okay,
because
sir.
it's the very last case study we have discussed for this particular topic, because after that, at what I'm checking right now, because there are hardly, I think, few more topics left. 1 minute. Because the topic which are left now, it is very different. Okay, it is not related to a particular topic in this particular case. So let me check that which topics are still left in our syllabus for OB only. So as I'm checking syllabus right now, we have done with OB introduction, models of OB we are done, Hawthorne experimentation we have discussed, individual behavior we have discussed, personality we have discussed, learning we have done, social learning we have done, perception, yeah, we have done, communication I think we didn't cover up yet. Okay, yes. So motivation we have done, counseling we have done, emotions we have done, group behavior is done, individual behavior is done, organizational change is done, culture, effectiveness, process, transactional analysis we have discussed, job satisfaction, I'm not sure, I think we have completed. No, we are not done, I think. Value attitude and job satisfaction. And one more topic, that is, work stress we have discussed already. Johari window we have to discuss, and communication. These 3 to 4 topics are still left now for this particular syllabus. Okay. So definitely in the next week when we have the classes, we will actually plan some class activity. Okay. Along with that, we might actually go through with this particular topic individually on device. Is it clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Perfect. So any more query, please, to anyone from this particular topics? Because tomorrow we have a doubt clearing session. So if you have any query, you can just join. If not, definitely we will meet you directly on Monday then. Okay, the next topic.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
sir.
Any more doubt, please? No?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. Enjoy your weekend now, and we'll catch you on Monday. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you so much.